And Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat for the IC title. Highly regarded amongst wrestling
All-time
fans.
greatest match ever done, ever taken, ever wrestled, ever completed. Yeah,
uh,
it was a hell of a match. I was by that time, and so was Adonis and Piper as well. So then the build-ups for that, yeah, it was a hell of a match. A lot of false finishes. Two great workers. You got Boat, you got Macho Man. So it's and then you hear all the reports now with this 51 items or 59, 50 something items, all listed one by spot by spot by spot. I've never seen that, never done that, never heard about, never even tried. Even the 80-gram finishes and stuff like that were 10 minutes long in preparation and stuff. Never did the 8 by 11 and a half legal binding paper.
I was actually going to bring up that you tagged with Savage a couple of times around '86. So I take it he never said, "Oh, I was going to try the impression. I'm not going to." But he says, "Listen, brother, this is how it's going to go down." Then he gets the scroll out.
I work with Randy.
Yeah, you tagged with him against a couple of
Oh, I
people in
tagged with him.
'86. Yeah.
Oh, well, those are pretty much easy going. Then I tagged with him. I tagged with Warrior. I tagged with a bunch of guys that weren't didn't last long. Probably just had me in there to do the job.
I don't suppose you know anyone else who was big on pre-preparing matches, do you?
Jeez, I hadn't thought of it. No, not offhand. Not to that extent, anyway.
No,
No.
not to that extent. Anyway, I take it it was slightly sarcastic at the beginning, the greatest match of all time and everything. That's obviously probably like a Dave Meltzer thing. The newsletters all raving about it at the time. Wait, did you actually watch it at the time, or watch it back later, or
Yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
watched it.
yeah? Were you like completely enamored with it, or was it just like, oh, it's a good match?
Great match. Great. Timing was great match. There's been others before and since. So it's but they got what they wanted to get accomplished. They got accomplished.
Hmm.
So it was whatever they set out to do, they got it done.
Hmm.
And it was one of the fun as far as pay-per-view and spectacles and stuff like that. To its time, it been one of the fine technical matches. I'm sure that there's other matches where you have feuds and death feuds and death wishes and stuff going on.
Hmm.
That the intensity was there, but with minus the intensity or minus an angle or minus anything else. Yeah, their work and their performance was 5 stars.
Moving on to the next match then. So we've got Honky Tonk Man over Jake the Snake Roberts. But rather than either of those two, I'm going to mention that Steamboat obviously won the belt in the previous match. And then he lost it maybe only a couple of months later to Honky Tonk Man. Do you remember this? I mean, I've heard the reasons and everything, but what do you remember the reasons being that Ricky Steamboat's title reign was so short?
Maybe the traveling. Maybe his first wife. I don't know if his first wife, but the lady he was married to at the time, Bonnie. She wanted to be part of on the business. Got the kid. Maybe she might have come off the road. Maybe she got pregnant at the time, and she didn't want him traveling all the time. I don't really know what the reason was. Maybe it was just because he'd been on the road with the rest of us all the time. And so I don't know why. Steamboat was a hell of a hand. Easy to get along, easy for the office, easy for the fans. Easy on the boys. It was never a problem. So I don't know what the thinking was on that.
No, you're probably right there. The original person that Ricky Steamboat was supposed to lose the Intercontinental Championship to was Butch Reed. I don't know if you knew Butch Reed too well. He apparently was in line to win the belt off Ricky, and then he all of a sudden started no-showing Towns, and then got fired, and then Honky Tonk Man took his place. Butch Reed memories, and do you remember the period when he actually started no-showing Towns?
I don't remember when he started no-showing. As a matter of fact, he and I worked a little angle. We had a little program going at one time, and then when we were heels, we travel a lot together, or we're in the same towns, and we hung out, and he was an athlete, football player. Great in college. I think he played a little bit pro, and great, athlete in that sense. Good worker, good guy in the ring. Good to have in the ring. Nice guy to be around. I don't know what happened at the end. Maybe it was, that's usually drugs and no showing. Drugs or women, one of the two.
Yeah.
Take your pick. Had nothing to do with money, because everybody's making their money. Everybody's making their bread.
Yeah, it's probably burnout or something similar.